Right, I'll come out here and do a bit of filming before it rains. This is a little bit of show and tell. At the auction on the weekend I picked up a set of diamond harrows. The reason I picked up these, you can still see a little bit of red paint on them. I haven't even had a look what brand they are. I don't really care what brand they are. They were, I think they got taken to the local scrappy and the scrappy took it out to the auction centre. So the reason I jumped on these was, as you know, anyone that follows the stew knows that we're doing the fence line. You know, we got the excavator in. Here's me helping hand, Santa. Hey, say hello. She says, you people are dicked in the head. And there's, where we've cleaned it up, there's a bit of bare ground and there's a few sticks and things like that there. So we're probably going to run through with a little 7-tine toolbar I have and loosen it all up, and because it's a bit up and down at the moment, we're going to run the harrows across the top and just level it out nicely before we reseed it, and we'll probably put some long grass or some bamboo or something like that along the fence line to give us a little bit of a privacy shield. So that's new to the place. I paid $200 for that, so I didn't really care what I had to pay. I was just looking for some and they were there, so I thought, right, that'll do. I'll pull them home. They've got the spreader bars and all that there, so I'm yet to unpack it and see what I need, but most of the tines look to be there, so see how we go. But this is what I went there for. Now I'll just come back a bit. This is a Massey Ferguson 520 saw bench. Now I put a thing on Bundy Bear's Facebook page and you can see the 20 there, and I thought with the 20, I thought, oh, perhaps 20 means 20-inch blade, but it doesn't. It's a model 20, and being made in Australia. This is just research from Facebook yesterday. I'll bring you around to the tag. There's the tag, made in Australia. It's a 520, and in putting a question out on Facebook on this saw, it's in bloody good order. I can't find any movement in those spindles, but it's had a couple of little patches over time that I can tidy up. But putting the thing out on Facebook about, you know, what the 20 was about, Sammy Neal from Massey Ferguson Worldwide, he jumped on and he said, well, 5 is the number for an Australian implement, the 5 at the front. So it turns out that it's a model 20 saw bench, and because it's made in Australia, it's a Massey Ferguson 520. If that was made in England, I think he said that would be a 720, and if it was produced in France or sold in France, it would be an 820. So it appears it's a number 20 saw bench, but our Australian one is a 520. Now, this big gearbox here was with it, and I was looking at the gearbox and I thought, oh, I'm just not sure, it just looks a bit different. It's got one tag broken off underneath it, so I went and got a spare 35 box that I had, and it turns out that this is the 80 horsepower belt pulley box, and this is your standard Fergie 35. So I do have a TE21. We may run this on the brown, on the, you know, little TEA, the rusty patinaed one. I do have a TEA, a TE20 belt pulley inside the shed, but my neighbour Grumpy Dave, he's got one and he's been trying to sell it to me for ages for $100 with new bearings in it, and he tells me that I think the bearings were over $200, you know, the bearings and seals in Australia, because they are imperial sizes. So he's offered it to me for $100, so I'll try and buy that off him. I don't trust his mechanical work particularly, so if I buy it for $100, pop it apart and just check the settings and all that with brand new bearings and seals, it should be a good thing. This is all nice and free. Like it doesn't look like it's done a mountain of work, and the blade here is still quite sharp. well, it feels sharp anyway. So I've got it out the front at the moment. It's sat out, and we have got showers. It will be in the shed later today. I just have to make a spot where I can get it out of the weather. But yeah, that's the main reason I went to the auction. And you may notice around here, part of the plan of buying this was when we look over the bush there where we cleared the fence line up. We've got a lot of tree tops and things like that over there to tidy up still. So we're going to crank this old girl up, take it over to the paddock, and as we cut the big lengths in, I can't see any sense in just burning that for the sake of burning it. So we're going to drop it through this saw. Now those who know these saws, you can see that arm there is a homemade one. So's the other one, and they've shifted the linkage mounting pins, and they've also put a bracket across here for a top link, and it comes with a free can of belt grip, CRC belt grip, and the belt is in good order. It's a modern belt though, and the modern belt, it's a plasticky type of belt. I'm pretty sure I would have a better belt available, so we'll have a look and see. But for the moment we're going to leave it as it is, and we can tension the belt, I believe, by just adjusting the top link there. We'll see, time will tell. But for the Bundaberg area here, this is the first one I've ever seen come up for sale. I've never seen another one in our area. Now down in Victoria, New South Wales, the southern parts of Australia, where it's cold and where firewood's a common thing, everyone used to have a slow combustion stove, and it may have had the hot water on it as well. Saw benches were reasonably common. Up in Queensland here, our cold is about 8 degrees Celsius, so yeah, we probably don't. Well, they're quite uncommon. I've been looking for a TE20 one, a little grey one, for ages, and you just don't see them here. They're just not around. So I went to the auction and jumped on that. I paid $1,000 Australian for it. So it was up there. As soon as I got to $1,000, no one wanted to bid, and I thought, well, that suited me because I actually had a job for it. So we won't sell it. We'll just keep it for the collection, and that'll probably go nicely on the back of the 65 one day, but I don't think I'll do it up. I'll try and bring it back to original, and we'll go from there. Now those of you who watch the channel will remember I went down south and I bought a heap of Fergie stuff off the old fella, and look what was in there. A 520. I'll try and stay out of the shadows if I can, but yeah, 520 operator's book. So that's an interesting thing to have. See how it folds up there without a top link? So, but that bracket here, that little bracket through there, that's what I don't have. So I may hit someone up for some measurements on that, and that's just hard to see, Lance. Perhaps if I put it up there. That's your measurements, or your specifications. So the overall width 32 inch, height 46, height of the table 32, shaft size 1 7/16 mandrel, shaft length. So the belt is an endless cord 30. I'm not sure what the cord 30 is. That must be a strength, I suppose. 5 inch wide, 6 foot 2 inches long. Saw speed 1200 RPM. So that's just another little bonus of going away to pick up all that stuff. Well, there you go. It's raining outside. So not badly, but just enough to be noisy. The old dog's laying under the ute there, thinking, oh, I'll just hang around here in case the old boy goes somewhere. But yeah, it's good to have a bit of rain, but that makes it no good for filming up the back in the big shed. Doesn't matter, I've always got plenty of jobs to do here, so we'll go and try and chase some of the thread on that 1¼ inch threaded bar I got. Okay, I've put a section of that bar. This is the small length that had the chowdered up thread halfway, and this will probably be the handiest little piece. I don't want to cut the big pieces, just in case, yeah, once they're cut they're buggered, you can't do anything with them. So we'll just pop a little bit of a hole in here, just for a centre. There you go. That's a good enough little centre, so we'll get the drill out of the way. And we'll use this Tool Master centre. I like this one. We'll put him in. I'll set this all up and I'll come back in a little while. Okay, there's our centre. And I've just taken it out past this chowdered up piece of thread, but we have a problem. So we have quite a bit of run out there. Bloody thing. Anyway, what I may do is I may part off a couple of lengths of this, try and work out where the bend is. I imagine it would be through here. I'll rechuck this just up about here, just past where the damage is, and I'll just try and do that. Oh, and hang on to the camera too. I think I'll put the camera in the stand here, just to make sure I don't wreck the whole show. And we'll come in past that piece and we'll bring the camera down. A little bit of run out there, not much. So I believe the run out would be there's still a little bit of run out there. It's probably just had a bit of a hiding, I'd say. Then if we come out just past the wrecked section, that's where all our run out is again. I'll go handheld. So where it's chomped up here, that must just be buggered. So it doesn't really matter. What are we going to do? I think we'll part it out about here, there somewhere, knock this section out, and just for different jobs, not liner pulling, but you know, if you want to pull a bearing into something and you want to use this setup, I'll make a few plates to suit this big 1¼ inch stuff now that I have it, and I'll say we'll have to use one of the other pieces.